hey, this is for you. This is the King Run Club Mini Clinic, August 7, 2021. This is what we did. All right, so for this mini clinic, here's what we did. We did the run specific warm up, and then we went into our drills. The drills being the shuffle run. Within the shuffle run, we focus on the 5 cues for running. So the 5 running cues are: each foot has its own lane, mid-foot strike, bend the knees through the hamstrings. You're gonna have in sync, so sync the elbows and the knees together as you're running, and you're gonna pull those arms back through the back muscles, okay? The next drill that we did was foot strike, really working on the biomechanic of striking underneath our body. Then we went into learning how to put power into each leg, so single leg power kicks. And then from there, we went up to gradually increasing your speed from slow to fast, of course, by putting power into each leg. So we did it with one, now we're doing it with both. And then the last thing we did was a performance exercise to, of course, increase performance, have more power into our runs. Thank you for watching this far. This was for you. I want you to keep watching, so don't leave yet. Keep watching for the rest of the breakdown on the detail of each movement of what we went so far, because what you saw so far was the really condensed, fast version so that you know what to expect. Now we're gonna get into the details. But if this is all that you watch, keep practicing, keep focusing on your routines, keep moving forward. All right, let's get into it. So the very first thing that we did was the shuffle run. The shuffle run is gonna be by far the best practice drill that you could ever do. One of the main reasons is you're going so slowly, literally you're going so slow someone can walk past you. You're going so slowly that it's easier for your mind, for your body to be aware of what's going on. So if you're having any errors, you'll be able to pick it up. Not only that, if you're telling yourself what to do, arm swings here, squeeze the back, different things like that, you're going slow enough for you to be able to pick it up. And then through that constant repetition and building that muscle memory, you'll be able to continue to get better and be able to go faster and do these things at the same time. Basically doing self-checks as you're running to maintain that efficiency and to keep improving on your times and reducing those injuries. So the 5 running cues. Number 1 is each foot has its own lane. So imagine just like cars on a highway, if there's 2 cars merging over into the same lane at the same time, they're gonna crash, they're gonna hit. And so if you're constantly feeling that your feet are rubbing each other, your feet kind of trip over, you're tripping over yourself kind of a thing, that's a prime example of each foot not having its own lane. So one way to practice it on your own is find a crack. If you're outside, find a crack on the road or the line stripping, have one foot on it, the other foot off, and then that's a way of having each foot on its own lane. If it's a crack or a line that's small enough or thin enough, have each foot on each side. That way each one has its own lane and don't touch that line. Or if you're on a treadmill practicing this, same thing, find that path on each one, maybe put pieces of tape on your treadmill if it's your own personal one at home, and keep them in that lane. That way they're not bumping into each other. But not only that, if your feet are sharing the same lane, it's creating a sharp angle at the hips, and basically your hips are here and your foot is here, and that's putting a lot of pressure onto your IT band, onto your hips, and we don't want that. So there's always, your feet are always going to be in a little bit compared to standing square, but we still want each one to have its own lane. It's going to reduce injuries or pressure on the hip and the IT band and the outside of the knees. And it's also going to give you that better performance because anatomically everything is lined up. All right, cue number 2. You're going to land mid-foot strike. So heel strike is landing with your heels. If you're landing with your heels, that typically also means that you're landing with your foot in front of your body, which is going to take away from your times. It's going to take away from your performance. But not only that, whenever you heel strike, your leg is typically extended fully. And so what that means is if you're running outdoors, whenever you land right into that concrete's not going to absorb that impact very well. So it's going to send that shock back into the body. Your leg is straight, so it's going to go through the ankle, into the knee, into your hips and your low back. So a lot of times whenever we're running and we have low back issues from our runs, we're probably heel striking. So definitely record yourself, see if you're heel striking. That way we can narrow it down. Now, midfoot strike, that is not the ball of the foot. If you land on the ball of the foot and as you roll to kick off, you'll be pushing off with your toes, which is too much pressure. That's too much body weight, too much force and speed for your toes to handle. And we're increasing the risk of injury, if not also the possibility of breaking your toes. So what we want to do is land behind the ball of the foot, which is the middle of the foot, the midfoot. And then as you roll to push off, you're pushing off with the ball of the foot. So the heels never touch, the toes never touch. Because the way shoes are designed, you may feel pressure on your heel, you know, depending on how thick the sole is, and you may feel pressure on your toes as you drive through, but we want to make sure that it is the ball of the foot that's rolling and driving, but we always first land on that mid-foot strike. All right, so cue number 3. Cue number 3 is, of course, we want to make sure that we're bending the knees, but as we bend the knees, it is because of the hamstring. So the big muscle on the back of our thighs, we're gonna flex that hamstring to bend the knee, and what that helps us do is propel us forward. And so whenever you're speeding up, we don't actually want to speed up by swinging our legs faster. If your legs aren't really bending, that's a sign of you using your hip flexors too much, which is a compensation, and that'll also lead to low back issues and different hip issues because the front of the hip is compensating doing too much work. What we want to do is that midfoot strike, flex that hamstring, bend that knee. That's going to pull you forward, and that's what we're looking for. So as you're going through your running cues and as you're running, you want to put that conscious effort into the hamstrings, into bending the knees, and that foot is coming up, or that knee is bending almost 90 degrees, and we'll get to that into some other videos. Okay, cue number 4. We want the whole body to move together simultaneously, you know, in sync. And so what we want is for that right elbow to be in sync with the left knee, the left elbow to be in sync with the right knee. And so as you're running, it's the timing of it. So we're not looking for the same distance. We're not trying to open up our arms really wide. We're not trying to go anything crazy or far. We just want that nice, smooth transitions and timing with that elbow and the knee together. Now, the reason is because our body, we have a bunch of muscle groups. We can move side to side, forward, backwards, rotation, up, down. And whenever any direction we move in, we're using subsystems. We're using a specific group of muscles to do that. And so whenever we're running, we're moving in a straight line. So there's a group of muscles that we're predominantly using to do that. And so what we want is to have that in sync where the knees and the elbows are working together. Otherwise, if they're not, even though we are swinging, if they're not in sync, the top is working independently of the body. One is following the other or trying to catch up, and we're actually losing energy or expending more energy because we're out of sync. And whenever you're having everything work together, you're moving more efficiently, which when you're more efficient, you save more energy, which allows you to last longer, go faster, and perform better because you have more energy to do it. You're not wasting it, especially with something as simple as that. Okay, last cue, cue number 5 is as you're swinging your arms, we don't just swing the arm. What we want to do is use the back muscles, those traps, those rhomboids, to pull the arms. That's going to help us on a number of things. One, it's going to help maintain our posture. It's going to help open up our lungs so that we can breathe better and we're not collapsing our lungs. The other thing is it's going to, of course, again, same thing, help us with our posture to where more of our muscles, our spine, everything is in a good alignment so that our body is moving better, more comfortably. And the back muscles are bigger muscles as opposed to the shoulders. And so bigger muscles are going to take longer to fatigue and they're going to have more power in them. So as we're running, that's what you're going to be using is the back muscles. And so again, even though most people can just run out and start running or start walking or, you know, do anything, it is a matter of teaching your body how to do it efficiently and how to have the right biomechanics and muscle memory so that you're not wasting energy. That's what it's all about. So of course, anybody can go out and just start running. If you're not just insanely blessed with the gift of running correctly, you're gonna be creating compensations. You're gonna be creating different pressure points, even if you have the right mechanics, but you're not flexing the right muscles. All of these things are connected. All of these things play a part together. All right, so those are your 5 running cues. on the shuffle run, which means you're gonna practice those 5 cues slowly. Later on, you'll practice those 5 running cues faster. Okay, so the next thing we did was a foot strike. So what we wanna do is teach the body to land underneath us, teach the foot to land underneath us, not in front of us, preventing that heel strike. And so again, it's all about muscle memory. So all of these drills, yes, on the surface, it's about you learning how to do it, but really deep down, it's about you teaching your body that muscle memory to be able to execute these moves. And so that midfoot strike, bring that knee, toe up, midfoot strike, knee up, toe up, midfoot strike, knee up, toe up, midfoot strike. That's it. After that, it's just repetitions, just getting that muscle memory in there until you can do it without ever getting it wrong, where you can do it effortlessly without thinking about it and still be executing the right movement and the right landing technique. Okay, so the next one is the power output. So a lot of times whenever we run, whenever we speed up, we're predominantly using one leg and the other leg kind of catches up. Whenever you're getting in and out of the car or climbing the stairs and different things like that, we have one strong leg compared to the other, or one dominant leg. And so when we run, we do not want one dominant leg. We want both legs to be putting even distribution of power, pressure, and everything. That way everything's always even at the knees, at the hips, and the back. So what this drill does is you're gonna start off in a slow run. It could be a shuffle run, it could be a little bit faster, 40% pace. You're gonna maintain that pace, and then on one leg, you're going to really flex that hamstring and put a little power into that next kick, and that's gonna speed you up. And then you go back into that 40% pace, and then another power kick, 40% pace, another power kick, just to make it not so much coordination. Do one leg at a time. So let's say your left leg is the less dominant leg, and so on that one, you're gonna pick that 40% pace and then kick that hamstring or put that power into it. So you kick and then go back to that 40% left leg kicks, 40% left leg kick. So you're gonna have this little, almost like a little stop and go, where it's 40 and then 50, 40, and then 50, 40, and then 50. And then after that, you switch legs and start doing the right leg. Okay, that then gets you into our next drill, where we're gradually increasing the speed or increasing your pace, but evenly putting power into each leg. And so what we want to do is start out at that 40%. Each leg is evenly distributing that force of that power, and then you kick with one, kick with the other, maintain that one, where each leg is still kicking, putting that even power and speed into it. And then you gradually increase until you're almost into a full sprint, like 80-90% of your pace. And then you start over again, slow, each foot given evenly, kick into both, maintain that, kick with both, maintain that, kick with both, maintain that. That way, one, we're teaching the less dominant leg how to activate, how to have more power into it to catch up. And then we're teaching them both how to communicate with each other well, how to have that muscle memory to work together well, and that even distribution. All right, and now we're going to the performance. Okay, so here's the big news. If you're subscribed to my Patreon account for the King Run Club, you'll get all of the content of the warm-up, run drills, explanations, the breakdowns, and the performance, cross-training, functional recovery, corrective exercises, pretty much everything. If you're only watching this on YouTube or the different social media free platforms, you're gonna get only the drills, only the warm-ups, only the efficiency, the biomechanics. So that's still, of course, a lot of information. It's still gonna help you out with your runs and becoming a more efficient runner. But definitely, if you wanna be more well-balanced, you wanna learn about cross-training, you wanna learn the difference between cross-training and performance training, and or you wanna learn more about functional recovery, how to get rid of shin splints, how to fix low back issues, things like that, then for only $10 a month, my Patreon account is going to show you all of that content and the rest of these videos. I want you to remember that repetition is mastery. And so on the surface, yes, you're learning how to do these things. You're learning possibly, some new concepts here, but deep down, it's all about teaching your body that muscle memory so that you don't have to keep putting that mental conscious effort, that so much mental power into being able to do these things and maintain it. We want to be able to do it in the training, having that conscious effort, but through the repetition, create that muscle memory so that the time comes that you're just doing these quick little check-ins, fine-tuning things, making sure that everything's running efficiently, but the body has that muscle memory for the right running mechanics, the right efficiency, and the right muscles so that you're performing better. Okay, just keep putting in the reps. It's that easy. Thank you for watching. This was the August 7th King Run Club mini clinic, where we went over all of the different drills and the performance if you're on the Patreon account. Now, these are in-person mini clinics. I do the videos separately just for the sake of time and, you know, keeping things fluid, but they are in person. It is every first, third, and fifth weekend of every month. Saturdays of those weekends are going to be out in Memorial at CrossFit Memorial Houston. The very next day, Sunday, will be in Cypress at Grindhouse Fitness. Now, even though these are places where I'm doing these mini clinics from, they're still phenomenal facilities for you to go check out on your own for your own fitness and training needs. So if you're looking CrossFit and you're in the Memorial area, check out CrossFit Memorial Houston. If you're looking for CrossFit and you're in the Cypress area, check out Grindhouse Fitness. And actually, Grindhouse Fitness is a multi-sport facility, so they have strength and conditioning, they have CrossFit classes, they have Olympic lifting, they have strongman, powerlifting, performance training, football, tennis. They have pretty much everything you will need, and I also believe they have kickboxing classes, things like that. But either way, go check out these places. Phenomenal gyms, phenomenal owners, phenomenal people making up that community there as a membership base. Again, thank you. So please like this, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, KingSuarezDoes, and let's keep getting better together. Thank you. This was for you.